Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee for one of the most intriguing matchups of Week 1 as perennial giant killer Boise State takes on Florida State, looking to rebound from its worst season in 4 decades. Now, this game was originally scheduled for a night game in Jacksonville on ESPN, but moved 2.5 hours west because of Hurricane Dorian. A state of emergency declared in Florida, so folks in Jacksonville are evacuating. Some are stocking up on what's left of food and water in preparation for the storm. Now, here in Tallahassee, right now, weather's fine. It's hot, feels like 95 degrees. We'll be triple digits here shortly. No threat of rain as of now. And hi, everybody. Welcome to the booth. Dave Pasch alongside Greg McElroy and Tom Luganville. It's that time of the year. Best time of the year. College football is back, and we got a good one to kick things off. A lot of people curious about Florida State around the country. And in talking with Seminole players and coaches, Greg, yesterday, they feel like last year's in the past. Yeah. They are back to being Florida State.
Yeah, it's been a newfound commitment to really the focus on the details. But I think a big reason for the optimism around this program here in 2019 is the addition of new offensive coordinator Kendall Briles. He comes from Houston, previously with the Baylor Bears many years ago, but he's a guy that has scored points everywhere he's going. He's going to simplify the offense. He's going to up the tempo. Expect a lot of productivity in that side of the football here this season.
They're playing against a very good opponent as Chief Osceola's out on the field. Here come the Broncos. 10-3 record a year ago, but they have a true freshman quarterback, Tom, and Hank Backmeier. And instead of playing at a neutral site, yeah, there would be a lot of Nole fans there. You got a true road game to start your career.
Yeah, welcome to college football, Hank, no doubt about it. But I'll tell you, the reason he won this job, guys, is he earned the trust of his teammates and of the coaches. And it's not all about physical ability. It's about minimizing mistakes and executing the offense. And he reminds me of a bigger, stronger-armed version of former Washington quarterback Jake Browning. And he may need to play like it here today if Boise State hopes to go home with a win.
All of the tickets purchased for the game that was going to be in the Jaguar Stadium have been reimbursed. It is general admission. Tickets were about $10 online, and it's a pretty good turnout considering they had to move this thing last minute to Tallahassee. All the Boise State fans that flew into Jacksonville on Thursday rented cars, buses, and drove 2.5 hours west. Their practice in Jacksonville the other day was canceled because of lightning, as Chief Osceola gets them started here in Tallahassee. Boise State won the toss, elected to receive. Brian Harsin has done an excellent job. Former Boise quarterback, longtime assistant, now in his 6th year as the head coach. He's got 2 Mountain West championships, 4 10-win seasons, including a year ago. A lot of heat on Florida State head coach Willie Taggart after a 5-7 year in 2018. But in fairness, Jimbo Fisher, before he left for Texas A&M, was only 7-6 in his last year. We'll see if Taggart can turn things around. Greg already talked about the change with the offensive coordinator. They've also made some other staff changes. We'll see if it pays off in 2019. Killian Butler is deep for Boise, along with John Hightower. Logan Tyler will kick it away. Toe will soon meet leather, and 2019 will be underway for these two schools. It will come out to the 25 for the Broncos, as we introduce you and the college football world to the highest recruited quarterback in school history. Hank Backmeier from Murrieta, California, where he set all kinds of records. 156 career touchdown passes. He was in the 2019 ESPN 300. And he takes over for a 4-year starter in Brett Rippon, who was the Mountain West Conference Player of the Year and the all-time leading passer in the conference. And they're going to run it straight ahead, and Robert Mahone with a huge gain of 17 yards to start the game. As you look at Hank Backmeier's mom, April. Now, Hank's father, Mike, unable to make the trip. First game he's missed since Hank was 6 years old. Mike underwent brain surgery 2 weeks ago. We certainly send our best to him. Here's a jet sweep to Hightower. Nice move as he's out to the 48-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play. Marvin Wilson on the tackle.
And Hank Backmeier, so productive throughout his high school career. He's a cerebral player, had offers all over the country, but looked at Boise State's offense, felt like it fit him. And he becomes the first true freshman quarterback to start the season opener for Boise since they joined the FBS.
Here's play action. Backmeier had to get rid of it with pressure, and it's incomplete. He was trying to hit John Bates, and it was Levante Taylor, a safety, who was in the backfield, bringing up 3rd down and 3.
Well, this might be an area, Greg, where you test a young freshman. Does a really nice job of contained by Levante Taylor coming off the edge there off of the naked, but smart of Hank Backmeier not to force the football into coverage.
Well, let's see if Boise offensively just tries to get the ball out of Backmeier's hands quickly.
One of the best in the country on 3rd down a year ago. Got a manageable situation here, 3rd and 3. And they have all 5 of their starting offensive linemen back, one of 3 schools in the country. Backmeier to his left, and it is caught for a first down by C.T. Thomas. He's out of bounds inside the 45-yard line.
Recognizing pressure, and they just try to get Backmeier out. They're going to run a little quick out route. And it was a good job by Backmeier holding up his wide receiver just a touch, because you could see the crashing corner. Asante Samuel Jr. almost made the play. Accurate throw from the freshman.
They're going to run it again here to Andrew Van Buren. So 2 runs straight ahead, right at the teeth of the Florida State defense. And both have gone for first downs.
We're going to see 2 running backs and maybe 3 for Boise State, which is a huge changeup. They don't often go running back by committee. They usually have a bell cow type of approach. But both Van Buren and Mahone have impressed a lot, as well as the freshman, George Halani, who we'll see later on.
To your point, 10 straight years with a 1,000-yard rusher. Van Buren fumbled the ball. It's scooped up at the 40-yard line by Robinson, and he's into Boise State territory. Robinson hacked it out and recovered it.
What a textbook hit right here. Right on the football. Nazarildeen. See that left shoulder engage and that ball pop out.
Right into the arms of Robinson.
Great play by Robinson, too, by catching it, securing it, and creating some positive yardage for himself. Huge play by the Florida State defense early on.
And boy, did they need it, guys.
Yeah, they were getting gashed. So sophomore quarterback James Blackmun, redshirted a year ago, but a starter 2 years ago, and they handed off to Cam Akers on first down. He's planted after a 2-yard gain. 24 career touchdown passes for Blackmun, coming out of Glade Central High School in South Bay, Florida. It's his 14th career start. Most of those, again, coming as a true freshman. Did start 1 game last year, threw for over 400 yards against NC State. They're trying to set up a screen here, and he overthrew Akers, the intended receiver. We all had a chance to meet with James Blackmun yesterday. He's a very impressive kid. It was a tight race between him and Wisconsin transfer Alex Hornibrook, but the coaches said the leadership of Blackmun and how the players feel about him is what won him the job. Here he is on 3rd down and 8. Dumps it off. Breaking a tackle is Marshall. Out of bounds, close to the line to gain. He stepped out. Looks like he'll be short. At the 38-yard line, the Noles are over the ball. They're ready to go for it on 4th down.
Great effort by Matthews, trying to stretch it.
And they hand it off to Akers. First down and more. Inside the 20-yard line. A house call for Akers. Touchdown, Noles. They bash him on 4th and 1. And then Akers breaks free for his 14th career touchdown run. Cam Akers, who broke the freshman rushing record at Florida State 2 years ago, lost a little confidence last year when the Noles only averaged 2.8 yards a carry. They had a lot of struggles up front. But maybe that'll regain some confidence for the very talented junior from Clinton, Mississippi, Cam Akers. Aguayo makes it 7-0 FSU.
An early turnover forced by the Florida State defense leads to Cam Akers right up the middle on 4th and short. One missed tackle and he's out the gate. Not the most graceful celebration, but he has the Seminoles up early here in Tallahassee.
Boise State trying to replace 1,400-yard rusher Alexander Madison, and Andrew Van Buren fumbles. Only 3 fumble recoveries last year for Florida State. They get one here early on and then pay it off with Cam Akers' touchdown run of 38 yards on 4th down to get the Noles on the board first. Hightower and Butler deep again. Tyler will kick it deep for FSU. Another touchback. And no rain here in Tallahassee, but hot and humid as they go right back to the ground. Mahone straight ahead to the 31-yard line. We mentioned there's a lot of humidity. Boise State knew it was going to be hot and humid, so they made it 106 degrees inside in the bubble in Boise. How did they do that? Well, they sprayed water. They turned the heat up and sprayed water everywhere. But they thought they're going to be playing at night, not in the middle of the day. Another run, and Mahone has the first down. Other than the fumble by Van Buren, and even on that play, they did get positive yardage. So you look at the weather difference between where we are and where Boise State, what Boise State is used to. First time they've played in the state of Florida. We were in Boise a couple weeks ago for practice. It was absolutely gorgeous.
That humidity hurts a lot of positions, but I'll explain after the snap why it's actually kind of a good thing for quarterbacks.
True freshman Hank Backmeier unloads, complete, and it's Hightower getting the first down, close to midfield, tackled by Samuel.
You think humidity, you think uncomfortable, but for whatever reason in a humid environment, the football gets a little stickier, and your hand gets a little stickier, so the ball comes out of your hand really true in a humid environment. So I have a feeling this Boise State team, and Hank Backmeier especially, might feel pretty good throwing the football in this type of setting. Going up there and the shoe can't handle the heat.
Hopefully the injury to Nasruddin isn't what Zion had to deal with. The injury suffered when that shoe busted, as Mahone gets inside the 40-yard line for a pickup of about 3. And Cyrus Fagan on the tackle. Carlos Becker is the other safety. He's replacing Nasruddin for now.
And this Florida State defense really struggled at times last year. They've adjusted their front, trying to get more playmakers on the field, trying to cause more disruption. Struggled against the run early so far today.
Here's the true freshman Backmeier, a wide receiver screen, and Shakir makes a man miss. Gets tagged a couple times, but does enough to move the chains to the 32-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup. Khalil Shakir, who had a knee injury late last year. They think he can do a lot of different things for them offensively.
Look at Boise State cranking up the tempo now a little bit. Florida State on their heels and dragging.
They've been getting gashed. They've given up over 60 yards rushing in this first quarter. Play fake here. Backmeier throws that one away. He actually had Shakir, but maybe made up his mind to throw it away.
He was looking, just couldn't find anything. Really the first downfield shot we've seen from Boise. They get into plus territory, but it's been a very conservative plan so far. Try to take the pressure off Backmeier, run it on 1st and 2nd down, and then when you do drop back and throw it, nice underneath throws that are high percentage completions to get the freshmen some confidence.
Here's Backmeier on 2nd and 8, gonna throw it. Has time down the sideline. Overthrown. Incomplete. John Bates, the intended receiver. Got a linebacker matched up on him, Amari Gaynor.
3rd and 8 in the red zone. You have points. Don't allow your freshman quarterback to make a mistake. I'm Zach Hill, the offensive coordinator. I'm thinking something quick. Maybe a screen. Get one of these running backs out in space or try to get it to my slot receiver. Perhaps on a little tunnel screen. So I think Florida State's going to try to mix it up and play some man-to-man.
Blitz coming. Backmeier's leveled, incomplete. Off the fingertips of Hightower. There was pressure in the face of Backmeier. It is 4th down.
They're going to run a little stunt. You're going to see him loop around. And that's who gets the pressure.
It's Amari Gaynor.
Yeah, Amari Gaynor on a loop. That's a nice pressure, trying to create isolations up front along the offensive line. Then you run an athletic guy up around the middle to get hit on the quarterback.
So now we have a walk-on who earned a scholarship late, Eric Sachs, who transferred from a D3 school, Trinity College. 36-yard try for his first Division I field goal. And it's no problem for him. The senior from Holden, Massachusetts, puts it through. And the Broncos on the board. Boise struggled in the kicking game last year. They were last in net punting, and they were 12 of 20 on field goals, and they're hoping Sachs can turn it around. Here is a touchback. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. That was a rule that changed last year. You can fair catch in the field of play and come out to the 25. Blackmun gets rid of it here, and it's Tamarian Terry, and he's got the first down. Terry, their most dangerous receiver, and he might be gone on a simple play to the perimeter. He takes it the distance. 75-yard touchdown. Tamarian Terry, who underwent a knee procedure during camp. He was not 100%. He's got the scary Terry mask on underneath the helmet. His 9th career touchdown catch and his 3rd of 70 yards or longer. And the Noles, midway through the first quarter, put up some points with explosive plays.
This is what Seminole fans have been begging for, this big-time explosive offense. Tamarian Terry, look, we know he's huge. I mean, he's 6'4", 205, 210. But what I was amazed by going back and watching him, I didn't remember seeing this at any point last year, was just how quick he was. For a guy to be that long and that versatile and such a weapon in one-on-one, he's really good after the catch. Look at him wiggle. And then break another tackle here, cutting inside and then turning on the jets to the house. He's so explosive and so good down the field. But he's really a weapon with the ball in his hands as well. And how about James Blackmun? How about the start for him? The team certainly feeds off his energy.
Well, look, we all said that one of the most interesting thing about Florida State this year was how it would be offensively with Kendall Briles calling the plays. So far, so good. 2 touchdowns in 7 minutes. Touchback, it'll come out to the 25 for Boise State. Backmeier enrolled in January, participated in spring practice, graduated high school a semester early. Beat out Chase Cord, the guy that played in a few games last year, but tore his ACL in practice. Both the quarterback jobs for these two programs came down to the final days of camp. Backmeier 3rd and long, facing pressure, throws it downfield. It's caught inside the 40-yard line by C.T. Thomas. A big play by Backmeier on 3rd and 10. They get 35 yards.
What a great job by Backmeier. Standing in there, knowing that rush is coming. Seeing that safety squeeze just a touch, knowing that he'd have a little more room down the sideline. And that's not easy with big Joshua Kando breathing fire off the right side.
Backmeier had his helmet come off, Greg, so Chase Cord has to come in for a snap here at quarterback. Backmeier knew it right away. He ran to the sideline. He knew the rule. Cord in trouble again. Gets away from pressure. And finally goes down. Chased by Leonard Warner. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. You have to sit for one play when you have your helmet come off unless it's via a defensive penalty. Are we back out there?
I like the mindset, though. Hey, backup quarterback in or not, we're taking a shot downfield. Right there, Chase Cord holds onto the ball a little long, and when he's outside the pocket, just throw it away. Live to play 2nd and 10 instead of 2nd and 12.
Threw 9 passes a year ago. Backmeier moving around in the pocket. A receiver comes free. It is Hightower. First down inside the 30. John Hightower, very good player, big play guy.
This is a great feel by Hightower, too. He runs, he has a corner route called. He sees that the Seminoles are covering that zone, so he sits it down, runs a little curl route, comes back to his quarterback. It's a good read and a great route by an excellent senior wide receiver.
Junior college transfer a year ago. He had 6 plays of 40 yards or more last year with Brett Rippon at the helm. And he's got a good thing going early on with Backmeier. Mahone back in at running back. Here he is off the left edge, breaking another tackle inside the 20 and spun down near the line to gain. So that's another chunk play on the ground on first down for Boise.
Hey, Greg, how about the impact of the overturned fumble return for a touchdown? This stadium has gone silent, and now Boise's taking advantage of it and getting back to what they do best, and that's running the football.
Yeah, and the best way to win on the road, turnovers are big plays. They get turnover taken off the board, they hit a big play. Next thing you know, Boise's got all the momentum.
It's Mahone again, dancing in the hole. And he's got the first down to the 16-yard line. A junior from Prosper, Texas. You mentioned this, going a decade with a 1,000-yard rusher. That's the longest active streak in the country. But it's a committee in the backfield this year. And now they got true freshman George Halani in at tailback. His first rep on first down. And he'll get it off the right side. And he's cracked at the 14-yard line by Dontavius Jackson, a 2-yard pickup.
Dontavius Jackson, one of the few really bright spots along the defense last year. I mean, the unquestioned leader of the second level. And he got some significant playing time and should build on it. Kind of the guy, maybe not the most talented guy on that side of the field, but certainly one of the guys that's very, very important in regards to the leadership and accountability of the defensive side.
Backmeier in the pocket, arm hit as he lofts it into the end zone, nearly intercepted. Almost picked off by Asante Samuel, but they rushed 5 and they got to him.
You'll see pressure coming right here. I mean, this is pretty obvious because of the way they're lined up in the secondary. Trying to force the ball out of Backmeier's hands quickly, thinking, hey, I'm Florida State. I have a talent advantage on the perimeter. I'll play man, and I'm going to try to heat up this true freshman quarterback making his first start.
Another 36-yard try here for Eric Sachs. And then so far kicking in Tallahassee here at the big stadium, 80,000 seat stadium, not a problem. 14-6 FSU. But Kendall Briles' offense looks good so far in his first year as the offensive coordinator. 5th overall. Baylor, FAU, and then Houston. He also brought offensive line coach Randy Clements over. Very familiar with Briles. Here's Helton. And he stood up at the 24-yard line.
Fakers in the backfield.
Here comes a reverse. Helton on the pitch with Blackmun out there trying to block, and Helton's got the first down. Takes a shot at the end, but he moves it into Boise State territory, a 14-yard play.
Florida State just has so much speed. And you look at Boise, I mean, that's a disciplined football team that's not generally going to over-pursue, but you have to. You have to be threatened by the speed of Florida State potentially getting to the perimeter. Right here, if I'm Florida State, though, I'm thinking maybe I'd take a shot downfield.
Actually took 3 yards off. They say Helton went out of bounds. They're going to throw it to Akers. It's a double pass. Akers downfield. It's caught. Terry takes it to the 20-yard line, but they're going to say that he did not make the catch. Boy, he had it, but it came out at the end.
Man, what a cool play. It looked like Blackmun was checking it down. Cam Akers, the high school quarterback from Mississippi, throws a pretty decent ball, but Terry can't seem to reel it in. Oh my goodness.
Blackmun off of 2 run fakes, and what a move on Taria Wilson. Ducks under the defender and has a first down to the 38, a 15-yard pickup.
This passing game is really in a nice rhythm right now for Blackmun. Easy throws underneath, high percentage completions.
Here's Akers again. That looked like a forward pass, and a good job defensively that time to trip him up.
No, Greg, it's interesting you say that with James Blackmun. I've charted down here. He's had 1 attempt in completion that's been over 10 yards. 1. And so they're just dinking and dunking and taking what the defense gives them.
Blackmun fakes the run again. Long throw. And Taria Wilson on the catch. He had 4 grabs all of last year. He's got 2 already today, and it's another FSU first down. We were here for James Blackmun's game 2 years ago against Miami when he had to start as a true freshman, as he gives it to Akers here. Akers inside the 20 and down to the 15, another first down. I'm just going to say, guys, that I know it's been 2 years, but he's an entirely different player, and he told us yesterday when we met with him, he said he just didn't know how seriously you had to take it. I mean, he was an 18-year-old kid being thrust in that position. Swing pass here, Matthews. What a great block. Matthews able to hug the sideline and out of bounds around the 5-yard line, close to the first down.
And they are doing whatever they want offensively. They're hitting them up inside with some of their run opportunities. They're getting some swing passes. They're getting some quick curls, quick hitch routes. Kendall Browse in a nice rhythm as a play caller.
Blackmun, what a play. That was terrific. Gabe Neighbors with the touchdown catch. But how about the creativity again by Florida State's offense? They had one of the worst offenses in college football last year. They averaged 22 points per game. Look at how many points they have in the first quarter against a good defense. Well, they told us they felt like last year was just a hiccup. Florida State football is back. Maybe it is. 21-6.
This is just stealing right here offensively. You're going to see him slide out here, but the beauty that opens this up is because of the man coverage that Boise State is in, you're going to get a little rub opportunity, which frees up the intended receiver, and he just waltzes right into the end zone. Nice, easy catch, beautiful design, excellent execution for the Seminoles.
But they look like a completely different offense from a year ago. Here's Hightower electing to take it out, and he gets leveled at the 20-yard line. Boise State has been able to move the ball, but their drives have stalled in the red zone. Mahone puts his head down and dropped at the 39-yard line, picking up just 2 yards. Tackle made by Robert Cooper and Dontavius Jackson. So that is end of the first quarter in Tallahassee. It turned into a home game, and the fans who live here in Tallahassee are certainly glad. What an offensive show in the first quarter by FSU. Quarter took almost an hour, but all the stoppages were because of the scores by Florida State. They had one that was called back because of a replay review, as Backmeier just turns and throws that away. That should be grounded.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 19. The quarterback was in the pocket, threw the ball into an area where there's no eligible receiver. Loss of down at the spot of the foul, second down.
You can see the nearest eligible receivers here. The ball is here. So very obvious call by the official. And of course, Backmeier did not exit the pocket. Great pressure right there, though, against the heavy play action by Florida State.
4 years to go. That was your best use of the telescope.
That's deep football right there. That's deep stuff.
Backmeier leaving the pocket here and has to tuck it and run and head for the hills. 4th down.
And you have to be impressed with what Florida State's been able to do defensively as far as creating pressure and making the true freshman Backmeier see some ghosts. I mean, it's really been impressive. I mean, he's gotten hit time and time again. Every time he drops back, looks like he's having to pick himself up off the grass. Got to give a lot of credit to Harlan Barnett and the way they've adjusted this look to try to create more difficulties for the opposing offenses.
Velasquez gets off a good one. Matthews signaling, and the fair catch made around the 10-yard line. Night and day. Again, we were here for the last time they actually played a game against Florida in the regular season. Here's Blackmun off a play fake, and that's a 1st down catch out past the 25-yard line as Gavin gets his 2nd grab of the day.
Just the operation looks so much smoother. Substitutions, execution. It's night and day.
Blackmun in trouble and throws it away. There are 2 Broncos in the backfield. They haven't been able to get a lot of pressure, and they've done a good job on Curtis Weaver. He's got 20 sacks the last 2 years, but Weaver got some pressure that time on Blackmun.
Lugs, they're mixing looks.
Yeah.
I mean, you think it's a run, you have to commit to the run because Akers has already hit him for a couple big ones, and they're hitting him with the slant right in behind. I mean, it's really been a nice job of mixing looks by Bryles.
Leyburn able to break a tackle out past the 35-yard line, and it's another 1st down. We know how good Cam Akers can be, but they feel not equally good about Kalen Leyburn, but they think that he's got a chance to be a star. He was injured game 2 a year ago on a kick return, hurt his knee. He also redshirted 2 years ago, so first time they've had an opportunity to really look at him. Sophomore from Virginia Beach. Pass over the middle is a 1st down. Cameron McDonald, the tight end.
You know, both Cam Akers and LeBourne were the ESPN 300 running backs. It's signed in the same class. And as a result, this is a twofold 1-2 punch explosive backfield now with still pretty young players.
Blackmun, pump fake, looking downtown, taking a shot. It's caught inside the 5. Warren Thompson on the grab, down to the 2-yard line.
Just a beautiful job on the double post. They fake the throw over the middle to draw the safety, which gives you one-on-one on the outside to Thompson. And he wins against the 5'9" Avery Williams on a post route, and a great throw by Blackmun.
So on 1st and goal from the 2, Leyburn gets the call and maybe lost a yard of the play. Good penetration. Ezekiel Noah in there along with Weaver for Boise State.
It's been really impressive to see the athleticism for Florida State to this point come to the forefront. Right here, though, it's all about the line of scrimmage. Can their offensive line give them some opportunities in the run game, or do they need to resort to a throwdown here?
Low snap. Blackmun just has to take off on a broken play, and he is planted by Weaver and Hatada. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and goal.
That's really, so far, Greg, the only execution error that we've seen out of this Florida State offense today.
And Florida State does not have Tamorrion Terry on the field right now, and he's the guy in this part of the field where you really want to emphasize him. He's 6'4", so he's a mismatch in coverage on any vertical passing game, so he's not in it. Let's see if they try to get Blackmun outside the pocket, maybe give him a run pass option.
And another botched play. Blackmun has to fall on it, and it might be out of field goal range back at the 30-yard line. So We were talking about how great the operation has been, and then on back-to-back plays, you have a botched snap.
And we were watching walkthrough yesterday, and for whatever reason, the red zone, the operation wasn't as sharp. So need to clean up that area of the field, of course. Got to get on the same page. A couple of errant snaps there. It's the communication, naturally, that appears to be a problem between Blackmun and the center, Johnson.
That's really the first time, though, that Florida State in this game has looked like what we saw a year ago. Here's Ricky Aguayo, struggled from this distance, 4 of 8, 40 to 49 yards a year ago. But he nails this one from 46 yards away. That extends the lead to 18 for Florida State here in Tallahassee. It will come out to the 25 for Boise State. They've had success running the ball. Mahone trying to find a hole, and a good hit by Nasruldeen in the hole at the 27-yard line. So just a couple. Marvin Wilson on the stop as well. We talked to Marvin yesterday. One of the things Florida State coaches have been talking about is how the culture is changing with leadership from the players, guys being more vocal. We asked Marvin Wilson, well, are guys listening to you now? He said, well, look at me. You'd listen if I spoke, wouldn't you? Yes, sir.
Yes,
I said.
Absolutely, Marvin. Whatever you say, buddy.
We saluted, shook hands, and walked away. Backmeier gets crushed by Wilson, but what a pass. It's caught for a first down. There's a penalty flag in the backfield. C.T. Thomas made the catch. Now, there again, if the penalty is on Florida State, Backmeier does not have to leave the game, even though his helmet came off.
He doesn't know that, though, because he's over on the sideline right now, and you are going to get a shot to the head. Now, you talk about a freshman, a junior, a senior. Where do you see this?
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 21, high hit to the quarterback. A 15-yard penalty be added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
So they call roughing the passer. Did you guys see any reason for that to be targeting as well?
It didn't, because targeting has adjusted this year. Is there an indicator, which means is there an attack with the forcible contact via a launch or a thrust? And it looks like right here Wilson comes in, hits him, but he doesn't lower his head. He doesn't launch towards the head or neck area. Of course, Backmeier is defenseless, but no, I did not see targeting. So it's a good job of applying the new addendum to the targeting rule.
As mentioned, Backmeier can stay in the game. On first down, they run the true freshman George Halani, and it's a good pickup. Around the 33-yard line is where he ends up, a gain of 7.
And if I'm Boise State, at some point, I got to call a trick play. Maybe right here. You have second and short. You're running the ball pretty well. I got to figure out a way to steal some points. And they haven't really had a lot of success through the air. They haven't had a lot of success blocking them, but got to take a shot downfield at some point.
You just expect a trick play from Boise State, too. Halani, first down. Knocked down at the 26-yard line. But enough to move the chains as we are at the midway point of the second quarter, and Boise State needing a touchdown, you would assume, the way Florida State's offense has gone, save that last possession. First down at the 27 of FSU. Halani again. And Jackson, Warner team up on the tackle a couple of yards downfield.
No, Greg, maybe that razzle-dazzle or trick play needs to come in the red area. Uttered the most. Haven't been able to convert third downs and get points on the board. This might be the region if they get a little bit closer.
I think it's coming. At some point or another, Boise will run a trick play, just a matter of when.
It's 2nd and 8 here. It's play action. Backmeier going to throw it back here to Halani, and he has a blocker out there, but a beautiful move. Halani with a great cut at the 10, and you see why they are so high on this true freshman out of Bellflower, California. George Halani takes it to the 4-yard line for 21 yards.
But how about the block by Shakir, number 2? Watch, you'll see him right out in front, and he is just driving all the way to the end zone. Look, lock up, go. Run your feet, and he blocks his guy almost all the way to the end zone. You can see Halani almost scores. as a result of the effort by Khalil Shakir. Excellent job by the sophomore wide receiver that plays out of the slot.
So first and goal at the 4-yard line for Boise State. Trying to capitalize on their first takeaway of the game. They're going to keep Holani as the tailback. It's Mahone. He's in. Touchdown, Boise State. The first touchdown of 2019 for the Broncos. So Mahone nearing 100 rushing yards already in this game. Boise State, you knew they're just too good of a team to go away, and it was the terrific play by one of their leaders, Kaniho, getting the strip, the recovery by Moa, and then Boise State able to take advantage and get a touchdown.
Trying to replace an excellent running back is never easy, but Mahone is doing his part. He finds the end zone as Hank Backmeier looking in on his first start with relief after their first touchdown, and his mom loving it. Boise's back in the game.
A huge score for Boise State. Ryan Harson's team needed to make something happen and did on defense with a takeaway. They get 7 points out of it with 4:34 to go till halftime. Fair caught by Helton. It'll come out to the 25. Here out in Boise a couple weeks ago. Personality and the way he views the program very similar to Chris Peterson.
Just very impressed with the culture that's been built there. And obviously Dan Hawkins, Chris Peterson, of course Brian Harsin, they deserve so much credit for creating that culture and sustaining it.
Here's Terry on the catch, and nice job. Make that turn and get to the sideline of the 42-yard line for 17 yards.
No, they still flew into Jacksonville, guys, and got their practice. Got called yesterday because of lightning. Then moved into a basketball gym, and there was a Boise blue cover over the wood. They figured, hey, it's an omen.
That's cool. Blackmun with a pump fake, taking a shot deep. He's got Helton, and Helton's got the ball, and he's got a touchdown. Third touchdown pass for James Blackmun. Good bounce back by him after he turned it over on the previous drive.
Just a beautiful throw and an excellent route. They fake a little post, which puts Nawahine, the safety, in a real bind, and he beats him over the top. Really nice isolation and a great call by offensive coordinator Kendall Briles.
Another extra point for Aguayo. So in a heartbeat, less than 30 seconds, Florida State steals momentum back with a deep ball. The offense for the Noles rolling. We don't even know if James Blackmun was going to be the starter because DeAndre Francois was the starter last year, but got kicked off the team. Blackmun has played beautifully. He's got as many touchdowns as incompletions so far in the first half, 3, and he's thrown for 276 yards against what many expect to be a very good defense in the Mountain West, Boise State. Florida State's put up 31 points again. They had a touchdown called back as well, after averaging 22 points per game as a team a year ago, over 60 minutes. This is in less than 19. Logan Tyler kicking it deep and goes out of bounds in the end zone. It's a touchback.
Quicker.
Score is actually 31-13. Open man in the middle of the field is John Bates into Seminole territory. Now you can see why the Boise State coaches went with Hank Backmeier, not just because of the talent, but man, he's endured some hits today and has showed some resilience.
Yeah, he's tough. He's accurate. Just needs his offensive line to help him out, keep that jersey clean a little more often.
Here's Taylor coming on a blitz off the edge. Well blocked by Mahone. And so the quarterback, Backmeier, picks up a first down and then slides to the 33.
Tell you, Greg, what a great blitz pickup by the running back there, 34, Robert Mahone. Wow.
Yeah, nice
he made
job.
that play.
Yeah, crossing the center's face and saving a quarterback's life.
Mahone, tons of running room inside the 20-yard line. They have had some success running the ball on Florida State. Can they finish this drive as they're in the red zone now? First down for Boise State at the 20-yard line. Backmeier over the middle. It's high, and he had him. Incomplete. C.T. Thomas was open.
Yeah, he had a chance here. Did a good job keeping his eyes vertical. Stepped into the throw. Just got to bring those sights down just a touch. It's a good decision. Correct place to go with the football. Beautiful route, by the way, by C.T. Thomas. Slipping inside the defender, giving his quarterback a chance. Just got to bring that accuracy down just a touch.
They go empty here. Backmeier to the end zone. Again overshot his man. Didn't even give Octavius Evans a chance, throwing that one out the back of the end zone. Third down and 10.
More pressure coming in on Backmeier there too, as he took a hit right as he was getting ready to throw. Man.
That was Kando, who's 6'7", 260. Backmeier on third down and 10, in trouble and sacked. Kando is back there, along with McCray.
All right, just a nice job here, running a little loop.
Florida State
And as a result,
takes their first time out of the half.
They don't pass off the TE, which results in yet another quarterback sack. This one, it's a tough sack to take, and this is one too. It's difficult naturally. It's 3rd and 10. You're looking for a player downfield, but when you're on the cusp of field goal range, you can't take a sack in this part of the field because it only makes it 4 yards more difficult for your kicker. You have to figure out a way, regardless of the situation, to throw it out of bounds or try to throw it at someone's feet.
41-yard attempt for sacks. That hugs the left upright, and it's good. 3 for 3 for Eric Sachs. Velasquez kicking it off here. This will be a touchback and come to the 25-yard line. Alabama with the loss to Moses. The defense last year exposed against Clemson. They also had some games during the regular season where you thought, okay, they're not as good as normal. How impactful is that loss?
Well, it's a big one. He's their signal caller, but they're very talented. They're just young at the second level with 2 true freshmen. They'll be starting on the interior.
Here's Wilson on the perimeter, gets about a yard.
And what I'm really interested in is to see Georgia tonight. I mean, they bring everybody back. They talked about doing more this offseason. Seeing Georgia against Vandy is one that I'm really looking forward to.
Great defensive play as the catch was made by Thompson, but Jalen Walker was right there, read that beautifully. It's 3rd and long.
A nice job by Walker going up and beating Helton to the point, making a nice physical tackle.
Boise State trying to get the ball back as Blackmun is sacked. Sonatane Louis makes the play and forces Florida State to punt.
How about Louis just finding a way to kind of just beat through the left guard and making a nice tackle.
It's interesting here. Boise State scores a touchdown. They're within a possession, even though they've been dominating in this game. Backmeier's 0 for 6 in the red zone. They have not been able to finish drives. First punt for Florida State, and it's not a good one from Tyler. And it's Going to die around the 41-yard line, so ends up okay. First true freshman to start a season opener for Boise State since they moved to FBS 23 years ago. Backmeier's pass is high and incomplete. Marvin Wilson got pressured. Butler was the intended receiver. So Backmeier's been high, guys, the last couple possessions on several throws.
I agree with Greg. I think they would have opted to run the football there, which they've done successfully throughout the first half. This is an important series for Florida State on defense because they get the ball offensively coming out of the halftime.
They'd love to get it back for their offense with time on the clock too, Tom. See if they can get some points before intermission. See if Boise State takes your guys' advice here and runs it on second down with Mahone. Nope, going to be a pass play. Backmeier with time to throw. It was high, but it's caught. And let's see if Butler got out of bounds. No, he did not. Clock is running. It's a pickup of about 8.
Now you have the option. It's 3rd and short. You can run it or throw it. Clearly, as evidenced by the first couple plays of this drive, they're thinking through the air. But you also have to think with this quick strike ability of this Florida State offense, you certainly don't want to leave any time on the clock and allow James Blackmun and company back out on the field.
Florida State rushing 4. Backmeier stumbled a little bit in the pocket. Now throws downfield. Got a man. Thomas on the catch inside the 10. Backmeier did a heck of a job. A timeout called here. Clock stop anyway just to reset the chains. 24 seconds to go. Tom, you're down there. You've been watching Florida State defense. They huffing and puffing. They've been out there a ton in this heat and humidity.
They're not. They've got some really good position groups, and they've been rotating. You know, we're seeing various looks, but we're also seeing various position groups shuffle in 3 and 4 at a time. They look sharp.
1st and goal on the 10 for Boise State with 24 seconds to go and a timeout remaining. Backmeier throwing a fade to the corner for Thomas. He can't come up with it. Nasruddin in coverage. Thomas is giving up about 7 inches on that pass play. You're throwing a fade against a defender who's that much taller than the receiver.
Yeah, but I like the throw. I mean, there's a little hesitation by Thomas to try to create a little separation. See him just peel away from the defender. That was a great throw by Backmeier. I'd love to have seen Thomas bring that one in, reward his quarterback with a nice toss.
They run it here to Mahone, and he's dragged down at the 9-yard line. That was Dennis Briggs making the stop. Another timeout is called here with 14 seconds left. Boise State out of timeouts.
Here's Hightower, split out to the left.
Backmeier rolling to his right. Holds onto the ball, now throws back across the middle. And it's caught for a touchdown by Butler. There's a penalty marker down in the end zone.
The back judge was trailing him the entire time, and I think they're going to check to see if he was out on the back end line.
If the receiver stepped out, he can't be the first to touch the football unless he is blocked out by the defense and forced out. Then he can come back in and touch it.
The receiver went out of bounds, number 7, came back in, was the first to touch. This is illegal touching. Therefore, it's a loss of down at the previous spot. 4th down.
You're going to see Butler. You're going to see him work to the end right here, and he's going to step out before he comes back to try to make the catch. Good job by the officials recognizing that and making the correct illegal touching call.
So Sachs with the field goal, and it's good. So again, Boise State unable to capitalize on the red zone, but they do get points. 4 for 4 for Eric Sachs as the first half comes to an end. Could be a lot worse for Boise State given the fact they have not been able to stop Florida State at all, and the Noles had 2 defensive touchdowns called back because of replay. All right, let's check in with Tom.
Well, Coach, a lot of positives to take into the locker room there. If there's an area that you feel needs to be addressed most to come out in the 3rd quarter, what would it be?
Well, we got to tackle better on defense, and we got to stop letting the quarterback get out of contain. We lose the containment. We're giving up too many big plays on defense, and a lot of them have to do with tackling.
You've also created your fair share of explosive plays on offense. How would you assess the performance of James Blackmun so far?
I think James doing a good job leading our offense down there and scoring. We had one bad series there, and other than that, he's done a great.
Blackmun with as many touchdowns, 3, as incompletions in the first half, and Florida State leads 31-19. We come back. Matt Barry, Jesse Palmer, Joey Galloway will catch you up with everything at halftime after these messages. Halftime in Tallahassee, Florida State leads Boise State 31-19, despite the fact that Boise has run almost double the number of plays as Florida State. FSU was only on the field offensively for 9 minutes. Had 5 explosive plays, though, and it's a big reason, along with their defense shutting down Boise State in the red zone, that they have a 12-point lead over the Broncos at the half. Florida State will start on offense here in the second half, and it will be a touchback and come out to the 25.
This Florida State offense has looked excellent in the first half, mostly because of these explosive plays. How about Cam Akers' first drive of the season, breaking through, breaking a tackle, then going the distance. And then Terry wanted in on the action. Made a guy miss, great block on the outside, and he goes the distance for a 75-yard touchdown catch and run. And then the double move postpone to Helton out of the slot. Beautiful throw by James Blackmun on the vertical. It's been really impressive to watch this Florida State offense work throughout the course of the day. Let's see what Kendall Briles has dialed up for the second half.
Here's Blackmun to throw on first down, and it's pulled in by Matthews in Bronco territory at the 46-yard line, a 14-yard pickup.
This has been a shot for Kendall Briles traditionally, where they want to try to take the top off the defense. Have positive momentum, bad kick by Boise. This is where you might want to go deep.
Akers, big run inside the 35-yard line down to the 32. 15-yard pickup for Akers. Florida State in business.
And you got to think, with this tempo, just keep trying to push it with the running game.
And here's Akers again. And he lost the ball, and it's recovered by Nawahine. So Florida State gives it right back to Boise State.
Wow. It looked as though Akers, as he was going to the ground, the ball's in his right hand.
It's
How
out.
about the job by Wimpy? Riley Wimpy getting his left hand on the football while engaged with Dante Lucas to jar it loose. What an unbelievable effort by Riley Wimpy.
And it's, you see Nawahine there noticing the ball is out, grabbing it. Wimpy, who's coming off an ACL injury in November against BYU. A big forced fumble after Boise State coughed it up themselves. Time for Backmeier, lobbing it over the defender and caught by Bates. He got that over 6'5" Janarius Robinson right to the tight end Bates.
Beautiful throw. This is called layering the football. You throw it up and over one defender and underneath another. It's a beautiful throw to Bates on the post wheel combination.
24 yards. First down at the 46-yard line. Backmeier in trouble here. Escapes the pocket. Throws back across the middle to Butler. And he's got the 31-yard line. 15 more yards.
I'll tell you what, Backmeier's starting to get in a little bit of a rhythm. He's starting to move around a little bit, play a little more natural. And, oh, man. That's late.
But no whistle. Here's Mahone, able to shake that first guy.
No whistle, but guys, I'll tell you, that head referee was given a mouthful to that Florida State sideline and that defender. I'm surprised, though, that he just didn't pull it.
I mean, the bottom line is it's late. If nothing else, it's a late
late
hit. The question is it targeting? Is he attacking and launching there? But nothing else, that's 15 yards for a late hit.
Yeah, at the bare minimum.
Backmeier, open receiver. Butler has to go up high to make the grab. And they're in the red zone again. It's been a struggle down here for most of this game.
When you're a young quarterback, you get down in the red zone, the field gets condensed. Things happen faster, so you have to see it quicker, be more accurate. He's struggled so far, trying to change that right now here in the third quarter.
Looking for his first completion in the red zone. Instead, it's a run play. Mahone Grabbed after a gain of about 3 by Lars Woodby. 3.5 to play in the third.
You know, Greg, the one thing that he hasn't done, though, is he hasn't been risky with the football. He's had really good, for the most part, situational awareness of how important this area of the field is. And so he's been smart with the football. And if that means incompletions, hey, at least you have a chance to get points in the field goal game.
No doubt. Smart with the football. And be very smart in regards to the clock in your head. You can't take big losses against all-out pressure here.
Backmeier looking for Helani out of the backfield. Incomplete. Amari Gaynor did a good job in coverage that time. A little shaken up on the play. 3rd down and 7 for Boise State, and Gaynor takes a seat. Just think how long that Florida State defense has been on the field today.
82 snaps already. And we're not even into the 4th quarter. In this type of heat, week 1, you're not really in game shape. It's really hard for your body to handle these type of elements at this point of the season.
Look at that, 30 minutes. You talked about the 82 plays. 30 minutes that defense has been on the field.
And keep an eye on number 6. C.T. Thomas in the slot. He's been a go-to guy in man coverage for him.
Backmeier instead throws a fade the other way. It is caught. Did he stay in bounds and get the foot down? Shakir, it's like he was carried to the sideline, but they're going to say he got a foot down. It's a touchdown. Great throw, and how about Shakir hanging on while in midair he's being carried by a defender.
You're going to see his right foot go down in bounds. What a catch. When you get in that all-out pressure look that Florida State showed on the last couple downs, you have press coverage with one of your slot receivers against one of Florida State's safeties. It's advantage offense. It's a great throw and catch.
2 feet down.
On the slot fade to Khalil Shakir.
Maintained possession all the way to the ground. Shakir just 1 touchdown a year ago through the air. Had a knee injury late last year. The extra point didn't look pretty, but it's good. And look at this. Now a flag is down, but look at the score. Despite the domination of Florida State in the first half offensively, the Broncos are only down 5.
Well, Hank Backmeier, he's taking some hits, but he's hanging around, starting to play his best football here as Boise closes the gap.
They were fine with Backmeier starting in this kind of an environment.
Yeah, he's handled it incredibly well for a young kid. And freshman quarterbacks now, they can come in and they can take the college football world by storm. Now, he's taken some lumps. I mean, it's not been a flawless performance. My goodness, he's hung around. It's really, really impressive to watch and battle back from adversity and really make some plays over the last few minutes.
Velasquez kicks it in the field of play, but doesn't matter. They're going to fair catch it. It will come out to the 25. What's going on with the offense? Last 5 possession, 4 punts and a fumble, which just led to a Boise touchdown. They're going to take a shot on first down. Blackmun throws it deep, and it's nearly picked off. It was intended for Terry. Avery Williams was down there for Boise State.
That's an offense.
Tyreek Jones was there as well and almost got the interception. If Jones actually is looking for the ball, he probably picks it off, right?
Yeah, they were just trying to beat him to the spot. Avery Williams did a good job of walling Terry and turning back and looking for the football. Excellent fundamentals in the defensive back.
Blackmun, pump fake. Another deep ball. Overthrows the receiver. And again, an opportunity for Jones to pick it off, but it was way over everybody's head. And now, after 2 deep throws, it's 3rd and 10.
Fellas, I'm over here on the Boise sideline, and I'm hearing players tell other players, they're cramping, we're not cramping. You're going down on us. We're here to stay.
Well, you guys are both making a point during the break about just what you love about Boise. They just never go away. They're never out of it, and they sack Blackmun. It's Hatada getting the sack at the 15-yard line.
How about Hatada working inside and forcing pressure right up the middle? I mean, he goes right around Johnson, the center. As he changes gaps, Johnson can't recover in time. And Hatada drops Blackmun for a huge sack.
So now Tyler to punt. They should get good field position here. It's a good punt by Tyler. And the fair catch made on the 40-yard line by Avery Williams.
Well, Hank Backmeier has certainly proven just how tough he is. He's gotten hit time and time again, and he keeps bouncing back. And here he was on the slot fade to Shakir to bring the Broncos within 5 points, and he gets it again now at his own 40-yard line in solid field position with a lot of momentum on the Boise side.
Look at the last drive. He's thrown for over 100 yards in the quarter. Keep in mind, 21 straight winning seasons, longest active streak in the FBS for Boise State. 3 Fiesta Bowl wins. They'll play anybody anywhere, even when the game is changed 48 hours before kickoff. They run here, and Holani breaking free. Close to the line to gain at the 50-yard line as they're leaning on the true freshman the last couple drives. First down for Boise State at midfield. So they got John Molchon moving over to right tackle here because of the injury. A catch is made by Shakir, and he's at the 46-yard line. Jake Stetz is in the game at left guard with Molchon moving over.
Yeah, Molchon's played everywhere, so he's very comfortable sliding out to tackle. The goal for Boise State is to get their best 5 on the field, and if Ojukwu is not available, Stetz is their 6th best offensive lineman. Get him in, put Molchon in for the injured player.
2nd and 6. Olani moves the pile. Looks like he's got a first down at the 40-yard line. And we saw Mahone shaken up a little bit earlier. I wonder if that's why Olani's getting all the reps here on this drive. Can the true freshman pull it off in what has become a true road game for the Broncos? They've taken down many Giants before. Can they get the Knowles? They trail by 5 with a quarter to go. Seen Florida State 1 loss in the last 15 years when leading by 18 points or more. That happened against Miami last year. They were up 24-6 in this game, 31-13. Right now it's 31-26. A give to Mahone around the right side. They sealed off, and Mahone somehow sneaks out of there. Where did he step out? They're going to say that he actually was able to tiptoe the sideline and didn't go out of bounds until he hit the 16-yard line.
Well, the head linesman, guys, is giving him, I was standing right on this sideline, he's given him about 3 extra yards from where he stepped out of bounds, but he couldn't see it because he was behind the defensive pursuit of Florida State. So Boise might be the beneficiary here of a couple extras.
Looked like it was really close, but like you said, because of bodies, it's tough to tell exactly where that foot stepped on the line.
So here we are, guys, in the red zone again for Boise State. Backmeier gets leveled, and the ball squirts out incomplete. Marvin Wilson making his presence felt again in the face of the QB.
That time, similar pressure from Florida State off the right side. Boise State didn't have enough blockers to handle what the Seminoles were bringing defensively, and Backmeier opted that time to not throw the hot route, who was actually open over the middle of the field.
He's 1 for 11 throwing in the red zone. On 2nd and 10, Backmeier, and out of the backfield, it's Holani. He fumbles the ball, and Jackson tried to pick it up, and I think Boise State got it back. Dontavius Jackson, rather than falling on it, tried to scoop it up, and Boise State got it back inside the 5-yard line.
And Collingham was able to get it. That's exactly who it was. Number 5, Garrett Collingham, the backup tight end. Holani trying to do an awful lot forces the fumble, and Florida State, they thought they had more time.
Nasruddin with the hit, and then watch, there's a defender who comes sliding in. It was Levante Taylor, and there maybe was confusion between him and Jackson, and Jackson
was trying to grab it. Taylor was trying to grab it.
But look how they tried to grab it, guys, and then look at how Boise State's offensive player went down to it, taking it through the side and cradling it so that the ball doesn't skip out.
Wow.
Those coaches at Florida State are going to be nuts over that when they watch that on tape.
Man, that's just so unfortunate. If you're the Seminoles, you make a great play defensively, you dislodge the football, you have two guys around it, and you're unable to come up with it. Great hustle from Boise State, but they are very fortunate to have first and goal here inside the 5.
And a chance to take the lead for the first time. Mahone in the backfield with Backmeier. It's Mahone straight ahead, powering to the goal line, gets a push, and they're going to rule him just short. It'll be 2nd and goal from inside the 1.
Really good surge. Good job being patient down here by Mahone. Really, really good surge, and a good job defensively too by Florida State, understanding where they were on the field.
2nd and goal. They're going to keep Mahone in here. Mahone, and he gets an easily touchdown. Boise State. The Broncos have the lead. 19 straight points after a 10-play, 59-yard drive. You hear the Boise State cheers. They all flew into Jacksonville expecting the game there tonight. But they said, that's all right, we'll get in car, we'll rent cars, buses, whatever it takes to drive 2.5 hours west to Tallahassee. We'll find some hotel rooms. And they're right behind the Boise State bench cheering on their true freshman quarterback who's making a name for himself today. And they're just automatically signaling for the fair catch. They're happy to take the ball in the 25. They go back to Cam Akers, who fumbled earlier, and Wimpy drags him down after minimal gain on 1st down.
Greg, that's the tackle that Boise State did not make in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, they are flying to the football. Yep. They're feeding off the momentum that's been created by a couple turnovers and fortuitous plays. Boise's defense is really flying around.
They put DJ Matthews in the backfield, and they swing it out to him on the perimeter, and Boise's all over it. Oh, he gets leveled. How about that forearm from Canijo? Big lick and a negative play. It's 3rd and long.
I'll tell you what, man, this Boise defense, they have a beat on what Florida State's doing offensively. We're not seeing those slants, those hitches, those nice throws, those easy completions anymore from Florida State.
They got 1 3rd down conversion all day. Terry with the catch, but they got him at the ankles, and they're going to stop the play. Forward progress to the 33, but it's short of the line to gain. Avery Williams held him up for his teammates. It is 4th down and 2. Plenty of time left, so Florida State just going to punt it away. But it's a 3 and out.
It's a great job by Boise defense. Excellent. Tackle in open space by Wimpy. And they try to get an easy completion, get the passing game going a touch. They pursue, and they keep the ball in front of them on a hitch route on 3rd and 10 that only gains 8. Excellent work by this Bronco defense.
Good punt by Tyler. And the fair catch made on the 24-yard line. 42-yard boot, no return. Boise ball with the lead when we come back. See what the philosophy is here for Boise. They're going to run the ball. A huge lane off the left side for Holani. It's a gain of 9. Backmeier, quarterback, true freshman from Marietta, California. His mom, April, is here. His dad, Mike, has been in every game since Hank was 6 years old. But Mike had brain surgery a couple weeks ago, we're told, because of a tumor. He is not here. And so April carrying the torch for the Backmeier family. Hank also has brothers Bear, Tiger, and Buck. He was a great quarterback in high school in the ESPN 300 for recruiting, and the highest rated recruit at quarterback in the history of Boise State since they went FBS back in the mid-90s. It helps when you get 9 yards on first down, gives you a lot of options on second and short. And they'll be conservative here, and Holani has the first down and more. He's past the 45-yard line into Florida State territory before he's knocked out of bounds. I mean, how about Boise State winning at the point of attack here in crunch time?
And that was the 96th snap that this Florida State defense has faced. And at some point, I mean, you're going to get worn out. When you get fatigued, you're tackling fundamentals.
And look at Boise.
Start to go sideways a little bit. Boise looks great.
Yeah, they're already on the line.
Absolutely.
On 1st and 20, a shovel pass, running room for Mahone to the 20. Stiff arms at the 10. And finally down at the 6-yard line. Man, he just got rid of one guy, and Samuels eventually on the tackle. It'll be a 29-yard pickup.
Man, that's a great job and a great play call. Florida State smells blood in the water. 1st and 20. We're going to come after the quarterback. We're going to make him feel it. So you just throw a little screen, little shovel screen. Next thing you know, you have a running back out in space. Really, really nice play call by Zach Hill. Excellent execution from Boise State.
You have Raymond Woody, a DB, who got stiff arm that time. That's the first time we've seen him on defense. They're trying to get anybody in the game right now to give the starters a breather. Holani swallowed at the 5-yard line. So a short game, but the clock is moving. 2nd and goal.
No, it's interesting, too, and just watching it from field level, especially when they get in the red zone, Greg. Boise State looks like Wisconsin in the run game.
Yeah.
I mean, they are literally blowing down and blocking down and moving. That's a lot of beef. You look at 21 Marvin Wilson. Look at 91 Cooper. You look at Durden, 16. Those are big bodies in there that Boise is moving the pile with.
Boise has leverage with how they're getting underneath their pads to this point, though.
Play number 100 for Boise State today. Van Buren, the running back. Backmeier rolling out, throws it to Van Buren, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. The Broncos extend their lead. Impressive, quick drive. 71 yards in less than 3 minutes. From down 18 to up maybe 9, pending the extra point.
Tell you what, Zach Hill, the offensive coordinator, is calling one heck of a second half.
See what the penalty's about.
Pass interference. Offense number 47. Number 47 was downfield blocking. The ball was caught beyond the line. It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. 2nd down.
Boy, it was hard to see the flag. I mean, I don't even think that Florida State saw the flag either. But you had an offensive lineman way downfield blocking. Pistone.
Yeah, and they called 47. He's at the end of the line of scrimmage right here. That's where he is at this point. So he wasn't downfield. I'm not sure who they are calling, though. Are they calling number 7, Killian Butler, who was on the outside, and running off?
Boy, he called 47 on the call, and now he's trying to explain it to Brian Harsin.
And 47 was just protecting the edge, so they clearly either got the number wrong, but even as I looked at Killian Butler, it didn't look as though.
I don't know how that's on Pistone for pass interference.
This is called 321 loop pass. You're essentially trying to fake a long stretch play, and you're trying to get your running back to the outside.
There was nothing nefarious about that at all.
He's just sealing the edge. I mean, he wasn't downfield. He wasn't doing anything outside of just sealing the edge and trying to capture the edge.
On 2nd and goal now from the 20. Backmeier finds Evans over the middle. And he's down at the 12-yard line.
Yeah, I think what they did is they messed up. They said 47, and they meant 7. Akilian Butler, like we said originally, he was. It does look as though he was not turning around trying to make himself available as a wide receiver. So that's a correct call. But 47, just left shaking my head there for a second because he did not do anything illegal.
And Backmeier to throw, gets hit, lobs it, end zone. Knocked away at the last second by Samuels. Hightower, the intended receiver, 4th down.
Florida State sticking with what got them to this point. Just going man coverage across the board. Samuels got to do a better job of turning around. Lucky he didn't get called there for a potential pass interference, but a good pass breakup and a good defensive play for the Seminoles.
Division III transfer, former walk-on Eric Sachs, 4 for 4 in his first Division I football game. FBS, 30-yard attempt here to extend the lead. And it's perfect. 5 of 5 for Eric Sachs. Boise State 36, Florida State 31. And for the game, Blackmun has thrown for 312 and 3 touchdowns. He had as many incompletions as touchdowns in the first half, 3. Another touchback. FSU starts on the 25. The second half has been nothing like the first half for James Blackmun and the entire Florida State offense. The Noles had an 18-point lead on 2 occasions, but now they trail by 5 with 2:25 to go. They have 2 timeouts remaining, and they have to go 75 yards. Blackmun surveying, and the pass is caught. Momentum will carry Gavin past the line to gain for a first down.
It's an important play right there just to get the drive started. Plenty of time. Don't have to be heavy through the air. Can do whatever you want to do offensively.
And they will run it here straight ahead. Akers picks up 2 or 3. Boise State doing a much better job in run defense as opposed to the first half.
Mixing coverage too. Taking away the pre-snap reads. We've seen James Blackmun have to survey the field a few more times here in the second half. That number 1 in the progression hasn't been open as often.
Blackmun back to the air, and Gavin on the catch. He was hit immediately by Canijo, and so short gain. Obviously 4-down territory. It's going to be 3rd and about 5. Clock at 1:36 and counting. Akers, he gets stood up by Wimpy. A gain of 1. Now it's 4th and 4. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Let's see if they use one here to talk about what to dial up on 4th down. They're not going to, but taking some time off the clock here. Maybe it. Boise State coming after him. Blackmun hit. His pass caught though by McKinney for a first down. Clock will stop to move the chains to the 48-yard line. There is a penalty marker down in the backfield, though. It might be coming back.
Held Curtis Weaver, guys.
Holding. Offense number 73. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 4th down.
Wow. Jawan Williams called for holding.
Coming off this side, you're going to see Weaver get grabbed by Jawan Williams as he tries to go low and run the hoop. See that left arm of Williams absolutely engage with Weaver. What a huge penalty after the 3rd down conversion.
Now it's 4th and 14 with a clock running. See if they come after him again. They do. A flag down. Blackmun takes off across the 40, and he does not get the first down. Let's see what the penalty is. If it's on Florida State, it'll be declined. Boise State will take over on downs with 48 seconds to go.
Illegal formation on the offense, 5 men in the backfield. That penalty's declined. The result of the play was that the runner was short of the line to gain. Ball goes over on downs.
Wow.
First down.
Boise State 48 seconds away from a major comeback win in a true road game.
Better be careful they don't get a penalty.
Hey guys, we know what this says about Boise State. It's really what it always says about Boise State, is they can beat anybody, anytime, anywhere. But what does this say about Florida State? We are praising the first half, the changes they made, but the second half looked a lot like last year in many respects.
Just a tale of two halves, and they looked completely out of rhythm offensively. Their defense couldn't get off the field. They couldn't stop the run. They had a couple costly errors when it comes to recovering potential mistakes from Boise. They're an improved group, but man, the second half is just gut-wrenching considering how well you played in the first 30 minutes.
Backmeier takes a knee. Little contact from Asante Samuel after. Florida State will use a timeout, but Backmeier takes a knee. Florida State can't stop the clock. Backmeier throws for 215 yards and a touchdown in the second half alone. And the Broncos, with the game being moved from a neutral site, Jacksonville, to Tallahassee, from nighttime to the middle of the day where the heat index is over 100. Hank Backmeier's mom, April, looking on. His dad, Mike, who underwent surgery for a brain tumor a couple weeks ago, unable to be here, missing his son's game for the first time in 14 years, but watching back in California. Their son and the Broncos victorious. And let's go to Tom.
Coach, you told me coming out of the locker room 3 things: tackling, red zone production, all right, and turnovers. How do you explain the difference between the first and second half?
Well, I didn't tell you heart. That was one of them that we just showed right there. These guys finished. That's what we talked about. Yeah, all those things we had to get done, but they came out here and played and finished the game, which is what we've been talking about all this entire year leading up to this one. And to be here at Florida State, they did a tremendous job getting this game set up, but to play like we did and finish this game, we're excited for how we did, how well we played.
A lot of positives on offense. Of course, there'll be things to correct, but how would you assess the performance of your true freshman quarterback on the road today?
You know what? He won. That's how you assess it. He won. And we can break it all down. It's not perfect, but you and I both know you go out there and you compete to win, and that's what he did. So in my book, that's what he came out to do, and he got it done.
Coach, congratulations. Go enjoy it.
Thank you. Go Broncos.
Now, Brian Harsin, an outstanding coach, and given that they had to make the sudden change here, figure out the hotel situation, practice canceled yesterday because of lightning. You're already bringing your fan base thousands of miles to play a game, but they had to make some adjustments after getting down 18 points in the first half on 2 occasions. But they come back with 23 unanswered points to beat Florida State 36-31. ESPN Goal Line is coming up next. For Greg McElroy, Tom Luganbill, our outstanding crew, which did a good job with Quick Change, I'm Dave Pasch. Thanks so long from Tallahassee, where Boise State wins at FSU by 5.